Suzhou Wu, formerly romanized as Soochow, is a major city located in southeastern Jiangsu province of East China, about 100 kilometers northwest of Shanghai. It is a major economic center and focal point of trade and commerce, and the second largest city in the province, after its capital Nanjing. The city is situated on the lower reaches of the Yangtze River and the shores of Lake Tai and belongs to the Yangtze River Delta region. Administratively, Suzhou is a prefecture-level city with a population of 4.33 million in its city proper, and a total resident population of 10.58 million in its administrative area. Its urban population grew at an unprecedented rate of 6.5% between 2000 and 2014, which is the highest among cities with more than 5 million people. Founded in 514 BC, Suzhou has over 2,500 years of history, with an abundant display of relics and sites of historical interest. At around 100 AD, during the Eastern Han Dynasty, it became one of the 10 largest cities in the world, mostly due to emigration from northern China. Since the 10th century Song Dynasty, it has been an important commercial center of China. During the Ming and Qing Dynasty, Suzhou was a national economic, cultural, and commercial center, as well as the largest non-capital city in the world, until the 1860 Taiping Rebellion, when Li Hongzhang and Charles George Gordon recaptured the city 3 years later. Shanghai had already taken its predominant place in the nation. Since major economic reforms began in 1978, Suzhou has become one of the fastest-growing major cities in the world, with GDP growth rates of about 14% in the past 35 years. With high life expectancy and per capita incomes, Suzhou's Human Development Index ratings is roughly comparable to a moderately developed country, making it one of the most highly developed and prosperous cities in China. The city's canals, stone bridges, pagodas, and meticulously designed gardens have contributed to its status as one of the top tourist attractions in China. The classical gardens of Suzhou were added to the list of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 1997 and 2000. Suzhou is often dubbed the Venice of the East or Venice of China. Etymology. The name Suzhou was first officially used for the city in AD 589 during the Sui dynasty. The character or is a contraction referring to nearby Mount Gusu. The Su in its name refers to the mint perilla. The character originally meant something like a province, a county, but often came to be used metonymously for the capital of such a region. History. Suzhou, the cradle of Wu culture, is one of the oldest towns in the Yangtze Basin. By the spring and autumn period of the Zhou, local tribes named the Ge were recorded living in the area which would become the modern city of Suzhou. These tribes formed villages on the edges of the hills above the wetlands surrounding Lake Tai. See Makian's records of the Herd. Historian records traditional accounts that the Zhou Lord Taibo established the state of Wu at nearby Wuxi during the 11th century BC, civilizing the local people and improving their agriculture and mastery of irrigation. The Wu court later moved to Gusu within the area of modern Suzhou. This town was also known as Wu from the name of its kingdom. In 514 BC, King Helu of Wu established a new capital at Helu City. It was this site that grew into present-day Suzhou. In 496 BC, King Helu was buried at Tiger Hill. In 473 BC, Wu was defeated and annexed by Yu, a kingdom to its southeast. Yu was annexed in turn by Chu in 306 BC. Remnants of the ancient kingdom include pieces of its 2,500-year-old city wall and the gate through it at Pan Gate. During the Warring States period, the city was known as Wu County or Wu Commandery. Following the Qin Empire's conquest of the area in 222 BC, it was made the capital of Guaji, a commandery named for the reputed resting place of Yu the Great and including land stretching from the south bank of the Yangtze to the unconquered interior of Minyu in southern Zhejiang. Amid the collapse of the Qin, Kuaiji's governor Yin Tong attempted to organize his own rebellion only to be betrayed and executed by Xiang Liang and his nephew Xiang Yu, who launched their own rebellion from the city. When the Grand Canal was completed, Suzhou found itself strategically located on a major trade route. In the course of the history of China, it has been a metropolis of industry and commerce on the southeastern coast of China. During the Tang dynasty, the great poet Bai Juyi constructed the Shantang Canal to connect the city with Tiger Hill for tourists. In AD 1035, the Suzhou Confucian Temple was founded by famed poet and writer Fan Zhongyan. It became a venue for the imperial civil examinations and then developed into the modern Suzhou High School in the 1910s. In February of 1130, the advancing Jin army from the north ransacked the city. This was followed by the Mongol invasion in 1275. In 1356, Suzhou became the capital of Shangshicheng, one of the leaders of the Red Turban Rebellion against the Yuan dynasty and the self-proclaimed King of Wu. In 1367, Zhang's Nanjing-based rival Zhou Yuanshang took the city after a 10-month siege. Zhou, who was soon to proclaim himself the first emperor of the Ming dynasty, demolished the royal city in the center of Suzhou's walled city and imposed crushing taxes on the city and prefecture's powerful families. Despite the heavy taxation and the resettlement of some of Suzhou's prominent citizens to the area of Hongwu's capital at Nanjing, Suzhou was soon prosperous again. During the early Ming, Suzhou Prefecture supervised the Yangtze shoals which later became Shanghai's Zhongming Island. When the shipwrecked Korean official Cho Bu had a chance to see much of eastern China from Zhejiang to Liaoning on his way home in 1488, he described Suzhou in his travel report as exceeding every other city. Many of the famous private gardens were constructed by the gentry of the Ming and Qing dynasties. However, the city was to see another disaster in 1860 when Taiping soldiers captured the city. In November 1863, the ever-victorious army of Charles Gordon recaptured the city from the Taiping forces. The next crisis was the Japanese invasion in 1937. Many gardens were devastated by the end of the war. In the early 1950s, restoration was done on gardens such as the humble administrator's garden and the lingering garden to bring them back to life. Administrative divisions. The urban core of Suzhou is informally called Old Town Suzhou. It is Gusu District. Suzhou Industrial Park is to the east of the Old Town, and Suzhou Hainan New Technology Development Zone is to the west. In 2000, the original Wu County was divided into two districts including Zhangcheng and Wuzhong. They now form the northern and southern parts of the city of Suzhou. In 2012, the original Wuzhang city became Wuzhang district of Suzhou City. Suzhou is one of the most prosperous cities in China. Its development has a direct correlation with the growth of its satellite cities, including Kunshan, Taikang, Jiangsu, and Zhangjiagang, which together with the city of Suzhou form the Suzhou Prefecture. The Suzhou Prefecture is home to many high-tech enterprises. Geography. Suzhou is on the Lake Tai plain south of the Yangtze River, about 100 kilometers to the west of Shanghai and just over 200 kilometers east of Nanjing. Climate: Suzhou has a four-season, monsoon-influenced humid subtropical climate with hot, humid summers and cool, cloudy, damp winters with occasional snowfall. Northwesterly winds blowing from Siberia during winter can cause temperatures to fall below freezing at night, while southerly or southwesterly winds during the summer can push temperatures above 35 degrees Celsius. The hottest temperature recorded since 1951 was at 41.0 degrees Celsius on the 7th of August 2013, and the lowest at -9.8 degrees Celsius on the 16th of January 1958. Cityscape and environment. Classical Gardens. Suzhou is famous for its classical gardens, collectively a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Humble Administrator's Garden and Lingering Garden are among the four most famous classical gardens in China. The Kanglang Pavilion, Lion Grove Garden, Humble Administrator's Garden and Lingering Garden, respectively representing the garden styles of the Song, Yuan, Ming, and Qing dynasties, are called the four most famous gardens in Suzhou. Other gardens inscribed on the World Heritage List include the Couples Retreat Garden, the Garden of Cultivation, and the Retreat and Reflection Garden. Temples: Hanshan Temple, Ziyuan Temple, Shanmian Temple. Canals and historic districts. Both 800-year-old Pingzhang Road and 1,200-year-old Shantang Street are on the list of China's national historic and cultural streets. Resorts and natural reserves. Suzhou Taihu National Tourism and Vacation Zone is in the western part of Suzhou, 15 kilometers from the city center. Skyscrapers Gate to the east is a 301.8-meter, 74-story skyscraper in Suzhou's central business district, built in 2015 at a cost of $700 million and is currently the tallest building in Suzhou. Pangate. Pangate is on the southwest corner of the main canal or encircling canal of Suzhou. Originally built during the Warring States period in the state of Wu, historians estimate it to be around 2,500 years old. It is now part of the Pangate Scenic Area. It is known for the three landmarks of Pangate. They are the Ruiguang Pagoda, the earliest pagoda in Suzhou, built in 247 BC, the Wu Gate Bridge, the entrance to the gate at that time over the water passage and the highest bridge in Suzhou at the time, and the Pangate. The Ruiguang Pagoda is constructed of brick with wooden platforms and has Buddhist carvings at its base. Baidai Bridge. Baidai Bridge stretches across the Daitai Lake in the suburbs of Suzhou. To raise money to finance the bridge, the magistrate donated his expensive belt, hence the name. The bridge was first built in 806 A.D. in the Tang dynasty and has 53 arches with a length of 317 meters. It was made out of stone from Jinshan Mountain and is the longest standing bridge of its kind in China. The bridge was included on the list of national monuments in 2001. Tiger Hill. The Tiger Hill is known for its natural beauty as well as historical sites. The hill is so named because it is said to look like a crouching tiger. Another legend states that a white tiger appeared on the hill to guard it following the burial. The hill has been a tourist destination for hundreds, if not thousands, of years, as is evident from the poetry and calligraphy carved into rocks on the hill. Famous Song dynasty poet Su Shi said, "It is a lifelong pity if having visited Suzhou you did not visit Tiger Hill." Pagoda's Yanyan Pagoda is a Chinese pagoda built on Tiger Hill in Suzhou. It has several other names, including the Leaning Tower of China and the Yanyan Temple Tower. The tower rises to a height of 47 meters. It is a 7-story octagonal building built with blue bricks. In more than 1,000 years the tower has gradually slanted due to forces of nature. Now the top and bottom of the tower vary by 2.32 meters. The entire structure weighs some 7 million kilograms, supported by internal brick columns. However, the tower leans roughly 3 degrees due to the cracking of 2 supporting columns. Baisi Pagoda in North Temple Pagoda is a Chinese pagoda at Baoyan Temple in Suzhou, Jiangsu Province, China. It rises 9 stories in a height of 76 meters. It is the tallest Chinese pagoda south of the Yangtze River. Twin pagodas of the 2 pagodas lie in the Dingui Temple Lane in the southeastern corner of the city proper of Suzhou. They are artistic and natural as they are close at hand. One of them is called Clarity Dispensing Pagoda and the other Beneficence Pagoda, and they are in the same form of building. There are many legends about the 1,000-year-old pagodas. It is charming that the exquisite and straight twin pagoda look like 2 inserted writing brushes. There was originally a single-story house with 3 rooms just like a writing brush holder, with the shadows of the 2 pagodas reclining on its roof at sunset. To the east of the pagoda is a square 5-storied bell building built in the Ming dynasty which is exactly like a thick ink stick. So there is a saying that the twin pagodas are as writing brushes while the bell building is ink stick. Museums. The city's major museums include the Suzhou Museum, Suzhou Silk Museum, and Suzhou Museum of Opera and Theatre. Demographics. The Industrial Bank of Korea estimated that there were 15,000 Korean persons in Suzhou in 2014. That year 850 Korean companies operated in Suzhou, and the Koreans made up the largest number of students at the Suzhou Singapore International School. Economy. Suzhou's economy is based primarily on its large manufacturing sector, China's second largest, including iron and steel, IT and electronic equipment, and textile products. The city's service sector is notably well developed, primarily owing to tourism, which brought in a total of RMB 152 billion of revenue in 2013. Suzhou's overall GDP exceeded RMB 1.3 trillion in 2013. The city is also one of China's foremost destinations for foreign investment, based on its relative proximity to Shanghai and comparatively low operating costs. The municipal government has enacted various measures to encourage FDI in a number of manufacturing and service sectors. Included among these measures is a preferential tax policy for limited partnership venture capital enterprises in the Suzhou Industrial Park. Development zones. Suzhou Industrial Park. The Suzhou Industrial Park is the largest cooperative project between the Chinese and Singaporean governments. It is beside Jinji Lake, which lies to the east of the Suzhou Old City. On the 26th of February 1994, Vice Premier Li Lanqing and Senior Minister Li Kuan-yew represented China and Singapore respectively in signing the agreement to jointly develop Suzhou Industrial Park. The project officially commenced on the 12th of May in the same year. SIP has a jurisdiction area of 288 square kilometers, of which the China-Singapore cooperation area covers 80 square kilometers with a planned residential population of 1.2 million. Suzhou Industrial Park Export Processing Zone. The Suzhou Industrial Park Export Processing Zone was approved to be established by the government in April 2000, with a planning area of 2.9 square kilometers. It is in Suzhou Industrial Park set up by China and Singapore. Inside the export processing zone, all the infrastructures are of high standard. Suzhou New District. The Suzhou New District was established in 1990. In November 1992, the zone was approved to be the national-level high-tech industrial zone. By the end of 2007, foreign-invested companies had a registered capital worth of $13 billion, of which $6.8 billion was paid in. S&D hosts now more than 1,500 foreign companies. Some 40 Fortune 500 companies set up 67 projects in the district. Sports. Suzhou Dongwu currently play in China League 2, the third division of Chinese football. The 13,000-seat Suzhou Industrial Park Sports Arena will be one of the venues for the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Transportation. Railway. Suzhou is in the Shanghai-Nanjing corridor, which carries 3 parallel railways. Suzhou Railway Station, near the city center, is among the busiest passenger stations in China. It is served by the Beijing-Shanghai Railway and the Shanghai-Nanjing Intercity Railway. It takes only 25 minutes to Shanghai on the fastest G-series trains, and less than 2 hours to Nanjing. The Suzhou North Railway Station, a few kilometers to the north, is on the Beijing-Shanghai High-Speed Railway, served by high-speed trains to Beijing, Qingdao, etc. Other stations on the Beijing-Shanghai Railway and the Shanghai-Nanjing Intercity Railway serve other points in the same corridor within Suzhou prefecture-level city, such as Kunshan. The northern part of the city, including such county-level cities as Zhangjiagang, Jiangsu and Taikang, presently has no rail service. However, plans exist for a cross-river railway from Nantong to the Shanghai metropolitan area, which will run through most of these county-level cities. Construction work is expected to start in 2013 and to take 5.5 years. Highways. The Nanjing-Shanghai Expressway connects Suzhou with Shanghai. Alternatively, there is the Yangtze River Expressway and the Suzhou-Jiangsu-Hangzhou Expressway. In 2005, the Suzhou Outer Ring was completed, linking the peripheral county-level cities of Taikang, Kunshan, and Jiangsu. China National Highway 312 also passes through Suzhou. Air transport. Suzhou is served by Sun and Shuofang International Airport. Water transport. Port of Suzhou, on the right bank of Yangtze River, dealt with 428 million tons of cargo and 5.86 million TEU containers in 2012, which made it the busiest inland river port in the world by annual cargo tonnage and container volume. Metro. The Suzhou Rail Transit currently has 2 lines in operation and 2 lines under construction. The master plan consists of 9 independent lines. Line 1 started operation on April 28, 2012, and Line 2 started operation on December 28, 2013. Tram. Suzhou tram system has one route in the Suzhou New District. Bus. Suzhou has public bus routes that run into all parts of the city. Fares are flat-rated, usually 1 yuan for a non-air-conditioned bus and 2 yuan for an air-conditioned one. The Suzhou BRT, a 25-kilometer bus rapid transit system opened in 2008, operates 5 lines using elevated busways and bus-only lanes throughout the city. Culture. Opera gunk originates in the Suzhou region, as does the much later Suzhou opera. Ballad singing, or Suzhou Pingtan, is a local form of storytelling that mixes singing with portions in spoken dialect. Silk. Throughout China's imperial past, Suzhou silk has been associated with high-quality silk products, supplying silk to ancient royal families. By the 13th century, Suzhou was already the center of the profitable silk trade. Song brocade. Suzhou's song brocade, with its flashy colors, exquisite patterns, strong and soft texture, is one of China's 3 famous brocades, together with Nanjing Yun brocade and Sichuanshu brocade. Suzhou's brocade production can be traced back to the 5 dynasties. It prospered in the Song dynasty. After the government moved the capital southward, the country's political and cultural center moved to the Yangtze River area. To cope with the special need of artists, a type of very thin brocade for decorating paintings emerged in Suzhou. These amazing brocades and paintings have been preserved. Whenever people talked about brocade, they mentioned the Song dynasty, and thus Song brocade got its name and has been well known ever since. Handicrafts, Suzhou embroidery, fans, Chinese musical instruments, scroll mounting, lanterns, mahogany furniture, jade carving, silk tapestry, traditional painting pigments of Jiangsu Tang Studio, the New Year's woodblock prints of Suzhou Wu Studio, paintings, calligraphic art, cuisine, Jiangsu Lake large crab, Suzhou silk and embroidery art. Suzhou is the original place of jasmine, a song sung by Chinese singers or actresses thousands of times on the occasions of almost every important meetings or celebrations. Jasmine is the symbol of Suzhou as well as Taihu Lake. Suzhou Gardens. Gardens in Suzhou have an ancient history. The first garden in Suzhou belonged to the Emperor of Wu State in spring and autumn period. More than 200 gardens existed in Suzhou between the 16th and 18th centuries. Gardens in Suzhou were built according to the style of Chinese paintings. Every view in a garden can be seen as a piece of Chinese painting, and the whole garden is a huge piece of Chinese paintings. At present, the humble administrator's garden, built in 16th, is the largest private garden in Suzhou. It belonged to by Wang Xianshan, an imperial censor. Suzhou embroidery together with embroidery of Hunan, Sichuan and Guangdong are called as the 4 famous embroideries. Suzhou tapestry method is done in fine silks and gold thread. Other art forms found in this area are sculpture, song brocade, jade and rosewood carving. The Suzhou Museum has a rich collection of relics from many eras. The collection includes revolutionary records, stele carving, folk customs, drama and verse, Suzhou embroidery, silk cloth, gardens, coins and Buddhist artifacts. Notable people. Education. High School. Suzhou High School, Suzhou No. 10 High School, Suzhou No. 1 High School, Suzhou Mudu High School, Suzhou No. 3 Middle School, Suzhou North America High School, Suzhou Wuxian High School, Suzhou Blue Tassel School. Public institutions having full-time bachelor's degree programs include Soochow University, University of Science and Technology of Suzhou. Postgraduate institution Suzhou Graduate Town. Private institutions having full-time bachelor's degree programs include Xian Jiaotong Liverpool University. Private school Suzhou Blue Tassel School, Eton House International School Suzhou, Dulwich College Suzhou, Dulwich International High School Suzhou, Suzhou Singapore International School, Schema Business School, Chinese campus of the French Business School.